Hello, in this presentation, I would like to go over a few APA 6th edition citation rules. Let's begin with adding a reference entry for this article. For a reference citation, we begin with the author's last name. In this instance, it would be Began, followed by a comma, space, the author's initials, BL, another space, and then we want to include the year that this article was published. Now in this instance, when I scroll down a little bit, I get that information right here. So it is in 2003, a period, a space, and we now type in the name of this article. And it is still in regular lettering. Once you have finished typing the name of the article, you will give another space and then you will enter the name of the journal in italics. So in this instance, it is Medical Education. I now add my italics, followed by a comma, a space, and then the volume number of this, which in this instance is 37. Some journals will also have an edition number along with the volume number. So if, assuming that this one had it and is a number 1, I would then remove my italics, and with regular lettering, note there is no space now, it's all together. I would put it in brackets, followed by a comma, space, and now I locate the page numbers. In this instance, it's 852 to 860. The second line should always be indented 5 spaces, and I like to do it with the rules, and this one will set the same indentation for everything that follows. So this is a simple way of doing a journal entry reference citation. Now when you want to use this text in an in-text citation, the rules are a little different. For example, if I was saying Began 2003 says, and maybe I want to use this particular sentence for whatever reason in my quotation. So I'm going to say Began 2003 says notion of everyday racism. I close my quotations, open a bracket, P to indicate page number, a period, space, and then the specific page number. In this instance, I find it at the top and it's 853. It is important to note it is the last name of the author followed by the year, and then you have your quotations and the page number soon after your quotation. You could also do the same citation a little differently. In this instance, my whole citation, the name, the year, page number should all be within these parentheses. So it's the same, Began 2003, comma, space, P dot space 853, and I close my parenthesis. So now all the information is within one parenthesis. Please note the placement of commas and spaces and your periods. It is all very important. I know they seem very trivial, but APA 6th edition is very particular about all this. So when you are doing your citations for your discussion posts, please remember these rules. Now that I have shown you a couple of these examples, I would like to pull up the file that you have under the content section in your D2L website, which is the APA help file. It is a quick guide, and I'm going to just go over a few things of note in this. As you can see, what we just did, it's the last name of the author and the year in parentheses, or it's the last name of the author and the year together in one parenthesis. Now this does not have a page number simply because it is not a direct quotation. It is a paraphrase and does not require a page number. I'm going to pull it down a bit and look at works with two authors. And this is very important. Please note this. When you have two authors, you use their last names, but what I want to highlight over here is the use of and. So it's Braden and Darley, and you will say A-N-D, spelling out the whole and, followed by the year. However, when this goes into a parenthetical citation, as is done over here, note that the AND is now replaced by the ampersand symbol. It is very, very important to note this difference. When your citation is outside the parenthesis, it is written as AND. However, when it moves into a parenthetical citation, you use the ampersand symbol. Et al, ET, no period after it, just a space, AL followed by a period. The other thing I would like to highlight is when you have more than two authors, you will have author, comma, and. So there is always a comma before the and. So for all lists before an and, there has to be a comma when you're doing APA citations. That particular guide also has a lot of other citations for different situations, for secondary sources and personal communications, and nowadays you have blog communications and things like that. So you can look at it and use the same notations. But please be very careful about all the commas and periods that you use. And while they do mention secondary sources here, I would like to say strongly urge all of you not to use secondary sources, because at graduate level it is not encouraged that you use secondary sources at all. In addition, now APA 6th edition would prefer that you reduce the number of direct quotations that you use, keep it to a minimum, focusing on the really important things. There's a section about long quotations as well, so I will leave this up to you to go through these sections. They have all been titled very appropriately, so it's easy for you to find the section that you need. Before I finish this presentation, I would also like to quickly pull up the Purdue OWL website. The Purdue OWL website is a really good resource simply because it gives you exact examples. And what I like to do is when I need to use this example, I usually just copy I paste it into my document, and then I make the changes that I need to. So in this case, I would change the Bernstein to Began. I will change this to BL. The reason I'm showing you this is because sometimes when we look from one screen to the other and do the jump, we tend to miss a few things. This, for me personally, it made it easier to do this, but I leave it completely up to you. What I do want to say is that the Purdue OWL website gives you examples that you can use, and it's very, very helpful to follow them directly. And again, at any point in time, if you have any questions about APA, you can always contact me. I also volunteer at the Writing Center at UWM, so I should be able to answer most of your questions. So please don't hesitate. Send me any document that you would like me to have a look at. And once you have the APA citation style clear in your mind, it becomes very natural for you, and it is an essential part of your graduate program. So I encourage you all to become more familiar with it. Thank you.